Good morning, children. Today we are going to study a new policy adopted by the Britishers that was known as the Doctrine of Lapse. The Doctrine of Lapse, which was introduced by Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General of India in 1848 to 1856. So, what is Doctrine of Lapse? We know it's a rule of losing the kingdom, losing the territory which was owned by any Indian ruler. So here the final wave of annexations occurred under Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. That was a period he was the Governor General. So he devised a new policy which was different or came to be known as Doctrine of Labs. It's a doctrine or rule of lapse, losing. We have to lose, our Indian rulers had to lose the kingdom to the Britishers. How it was known as, why it was known as doctrine declared of lapse? Because it declared that if any Indian ruler died without a male heir, okay, remember that any Indian ruler died without a male heir. Male heir means a heir, we know the person who is able to rule, the other person who is succeeding after the death of a father, after the death of the king, his son rules the kingdom. If he doesn't have sons, the daughters will rule the kingdom. That was the policy we followed. Here the British policy was when any Indian ruler died without any male heir. That means if he doesn't have, if the king doesn't have a male child, a son, the kingdom would be handed over, should be handed over to the Britishers. Britishers will take away the Indian ruler's kingdom. Suppose he has no male child and he has a daughter, also the Britishers did not allow, or this doctrine does not allow the daughter to handle the kingdom. They had to, Indian family had to hand over the kingdom to the Britishers. So here we know when the rulers, many of the Indian rulers, when they did not have a child, they used to adopt a child from their close relatives family, or from any royal family, from their own royal family, or from anywhere. They used to adopt a child and declared him as the successor of the ruler. But the Britishers made a policy that is known as the Doctrine of Labs. According to this policy, the king or the ruler does not have the right to adopt a child if he does not have a male child for the kingdom would lapse. That becomes the part of company territory, that the kingdom of the ruler will become the part of the British India. So here this was the annexation policy or applied by the Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General of India. So here many kingdoms following this policy, many kingdoms in India, the Britishers or the East India Company annexed following this policy. So the Satara was one important kingdom here, was annexed first in 1848, again Sambalpur in 1850, Udaipur in 1852, Nagpur in 1853 and Jhansi in 1854. These were the kingdoms the Britishers captured because they did not have a male child or did not have children. So in that case, the many kingdoms like this the Britishers adopted following the policy of Doctrine of Labs. Finally in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. Awadh had another problem. Awadh, the ruler had, or the Nawab of Awadh had children, but the Britishers followed the policy of Doctrine of Labs. But it was what was the Britishers claiming there? Here they had an argument that the ruler of Awadh, means the Nawab of Awadh, was misruling the kingdom. So British declared that, argued that the Nawab of Awadh misgoverning the kingdom or misruling the kingdom, so that in order to save or protect the people of Awadh from the clusters of Nawab, we are taking over the authority, or we are taking the kingdom. That was the claiming of the Britishers. They declared that the Awadh Nawab or the Nawab of Awadh is misruling the kingdom, and we are protecting the people from the misrule of Nawab. So this humiliating treaty was it was very humiliating, insulting treaty by the Britishers. Nawab felt that it was insulting, but Nawab was deposed or removed from the power or removed from the throne, and British captured the Awadh, or Awadh also joined with the Great Revolt of 1857. After following different types of policy, the Britishers followed here. The Indian people revolted against the Britishers. When the Indians were fed up with the rules and regulations of the Britishers, people of India revolted against. For the first time in 1857, the people of India revolted against the Britishers. So the people of Awadh also took part in the Great Revolt of 1857 that we are coming to study in the next class.